Hello everyone, and welcome to our continued Let's Play of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
This is a blue badger. Or
Yes. I just might know. The blue badger hadn't even been dreamed up when Emma drew this picture, yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the blue badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room.
Mr. Wright.
In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious blue badger look-alike.
Let's see if I can keep my roll up. My on the roll. I was actually gonna say the armor, or like at least look at the armor, but no, it's not the armor. Because,
I think, actually, I know what it is.
upside
this?
down?
Yeah, if it was upside down. It has this... Oh yeah, not even upside down. Look, there's part of it still broken off. That's where the other thing would be.
So, how was it standing? Oh, it wasn't up, it was hanging?
Yeah, it would
No.
either have to be hanging or someone... I'm thinking someone was probably holding it. Maybe.
Show him that, yes. Wait,
Yeah.
wait, he said in this room, right?
Yeah.
Does this count as in this room?
That's actually a good question. I'm confused by what he meant by in this room. What's... Like, I don't know, maybe we... Well, I guess we are carrying it around with us. I can't imagine anything else that would be... Like, I don't think we're carrying anything that's actually in this room right this second.
Yeah, okay, show him that. Unstable jaw.
Take that! The mysterious blue badger was in fact this!
Didn't know you had that in your pants. I'm not even happy to see me.
Yeah. Oh man, Phoenix Wright has so much in his pants.
Phoenix Wright's pants are huge for a reason.
But that's... what exactly is that?
You're on a roll.
I believe it's... Yes, we are. I feel good. I believe it's some sort of jar.
But
Always
Mr.
love
White,
that.
that doesn't appear like anything like the blue badger. Whatever.
Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Our viewpoint? I've got to show them the correct angle to look at that from. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure which direction to depict it from, the top or like.
Turn it upside down.
Yeah. I'm not sure what's the perfect angle. Okay, so she said it's shadow. Doesn't really help much though.
Actually, turn it like sideways again, like you just did. Turn it upside down now. Not like that. No, go back to what you had and then spin it around.
Spin it?
You can use the arrows, right? What do the arrows do?
They spin it like this.
Woo. Okay, move it backwards. Like, move it just a bit. Move it so that it's like, move it a bit backwards. The one that you were at already. Or like, whatever, make it sideways.
Okay, make it sideways.
And now, yeah, use that to turn it upside down so the small part is up. Then, turn it sideways a bit more. sideways a bit more. I don't know what I'm doing.
Hopefully I'm not doing this wrong. I don't really know what I'm doing right now either. It's a little hard to say whether it be at the top or the bottom. Whatever.
I technically it shouldn't be either. It should be at the top with the other guys at the top.
I think I see what you're saying, yeah.
That's why I was saying something like this. If you have it in a way where it turns back, like if you move it a bit so that the smaller part is slightly toward you but not all the way. That's a big part, the opposite direction.
Oh.
Something like that. Not as far though. Like go a bit, like something like that. I'm feeling more like.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Oops. We could try that, but yeah, I wish, like, this is one of those interesting mechanics, but I can't say that I actually love it, because it's just too complicated. It's like, there's so many angles to put this at, and, you know, it's a matter of perspective that's not very easy to, you know.
Actually, keep it like this, but spin it like 180 degrees horizontally.
Or is, you mean like on
That's
the slider?
vertically. That's
Oh,
vertically.
sorry. 180 degrees.
So spin it around once horizontally. Use the vertical slider to spin it so that the small part is toward you. Slightly, but not much, just slightly. Something like that. But the problem is that the other two are kind of downwards.
Yeah. So you're saying it's like.
Maybe slightly more so that it's a bit more straight, but not quite as straight. Like make it so that the back parts are more up. Yeah, like that somewhat. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But present it like that, like what I just kind of read. If that unless you have something better,
Nah,
something like this.
Yeah, okay. Take that! This isn't right. I've got to make it look like the badger.
Objection. Allow me to remind the defense, is this case is hanging on the witness's drawing. If Mr. White can't match the shape the witness do, we can't accept his claim.
I've got to find just the right angle. Maybe I should rotate it vertically a bit more, or horizontally?
Come on, Mr. White, you can do it.
Got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. Alright. Well, I'm really, really glad that that doesn't take away points, because this is kind of unfair. It's not super unfair, but, like, if it took away, like, you know, there's just too many ways to look at this kind of thing from. Okay, let's just try something simple like that, maybe.
The thing is that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make sense.
Should keep it, move it. Not like that, move it back. Like that, keep it like that. If you spin it, turns upside down again. Let's see. Move it slightly, so that you can see the blood side slightly more.
Okay.
Now spin it 180 degrees. Like spin it, it will be wrong, but let's spin it so I can see what it looks like. Spin it around to the opposite. Okay, that doesn't have. Magic.
I know it's not right, but, you know. Yep, that's not right. Objection.
Go back to that position that you just were in.
Okay. Um,
Now spin it around. Um, there was something that move slightly toward the blood side.
like that.
Spin it around again. I don't know. It's a bit like it. The main thing is that the middle part, like I'm trying to figure out if the whole part in the middle is supposed to represent the middle up curve. In which case you would have to move it into the opposite direction so it's pointing away from the blood side.
Yeah, I think... I don't think it is. Let's see. I'll try that, but...
You already did that.
Oh wait, I already did do that. Oops. Oh well. I know that the other thing is supposed to be this little knobby thing here,
But it can't be because it's just not how the thing is built up. Because it's a triangle shape.
well, yeah, I know it's a triangle shape, but that's the thing is it used to be the rest of these like.
But I mean the thing, you can't have always be pointing upwards because that's not how the vase is built up. One will always point downwards at least.
Yeah, that is the thing. But well, she saw a shadow, which is why this is so hard on my mind.
Well, I assume that by shadow she didn't mean the shadow of, she meant the shadowy shape of it. Just like she saw a shadow of other people. She didn't actually see the shadow of it.
Interesting. If she saw the shadow.
I think you're just supposed to create the directing, like just create the object, not the shadow of the object.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. That doesn't make sense. Obviously that's not right, but... I assume there's a reason they don't use these anymore, because I don't think they do. They at least didn't in the second game. Though the second game might have been actually before the... I'm not sure when they started doing the DS ports.
If you turn this upside, if you turn this backwards to the opposite direction, and then have it slightly pointing upwards.
Slightly pointing upwards.
The other side. Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how precise it needs to be.
Yeah, I don't either. Why should they have to give me 3 full sliders?
Yeah. Ponies.
Yeah, because I think it's... yeah, because, like, before, it's like that was... Ah, okay.
You know, agreeing with my theory though.
Huh?
agreeing with my theory currently because you keep making what I told you to make.
Yeah.
Um,
I do agree with your theory, because my theory seems like it's clearly not the yeah, that's the extent of what that could have been. Okay, sideways. Ooh. No.
actually,
Hmm?
turn it. No, can't actually ever be. Turn it up. Yeah, turn it like that, and then turn it so that you can see the other butch. Turn it front so you see the two guys from the front.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not getting it.
Oh. Not a bad idea. Or it wasn't a bad idea. I don't know why I presented that. Probably just the off case that the game had some weird logic, like there's some other bulge. But obviously this is the object, it's just...
Objection. This sucks.
Objection, your theory is bad and you should feel bad.
Objection. We have been here for 2 hours now, bitch.
Oh, yeah, we have not. Well, I mean, but you know,
They have been, keep
ooh.
spinning it in circles till it explodes.
That's the best plan I've ever heard about anything ever. Ooh.
It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on the assumption that it has to be the circly part has to be the circly part. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go on the assumption that if you turn it the opposite way, no, the opposite horizontal way, that bulge part at the bottom has to be the shin.
Mm-hmm.
How would that make that would not? If the bulge part at the bottom has to be the shin of the head, then you need to turn it so that it's sideways, with the bulge part being down.
Bulge part being, which is something I was trying to do, like that.
The opposite.
Oh, the opposite of that? Wait, actually,
There,
that looks surprisingly close right there.
do that.
No.
But do something like that. That was close.
Yeah.
You might just have had it slightly off.
Maybe so. I wish they'd keep it where you already had it, just if you're, you know, so you can keep working off your current theories. I guess under their assumption you did you like completely did it wrong, so like, well, you should.
But I mean, I can see the pattern, yeah.
Yeah.
Slightly more hard. Yeah, okay. Slightly less. Maybe let's try it. Try.
There, finally. So you did have it. It's just.
But actually, yeah, I think that's what I originally said, right?
Yeah,
Kind
that
of.
is, and we even tried that originally. It just like we didn't have it exact enough, which is the issue with this kind of system. It's like,
Oh well, I feel smart.
yeah. Well, is this a miracle or what? No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the blue badger.
You know, the blue badger looks like a superhero with that as its badge.
Yeah, he does.
No, it can't be. It would have worked too if not for those meddling blue badgers.
Order! Order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this.
Objection. Also, we enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance. One question remains. What is your point?
What do you mean?
So the badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything.
Objection! I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything.
Indeed. Very well then, please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw the jar?
Let's see, I would...
That's a very good question, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, it is.
Wait, that's, unless we're assuming the jar killed someone, it's not the murderer.
Well...
The murderer, more the location, maybe. Because we know where the location of the jar was. It might have moved slightly, but... Does that really work? I would say the location, but that's kind of going on a whim.
She saw the shadow. Well, I just realized that we can luckily still check our thing. Let's look at this. So, she saw the jar above them.
There's a window behind, so that's what this thing says. It's a window stuff.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay.
So, the jar was above them. So, assuming...
Wait, not the jar, but the shadow of the jar.
Oh yeah, the shadow of the jar.
Which means the light came through the window
Yeah.
from the other side. And that's why the shadow was there. It's the opposite side of the window? But the jar was at the side with the armor, so that wouldn't really change it unless he moved the armor.
Yeah.
You see my logic?
I don't know if I see your logic. This is kind of confusing me, actually.
Well, what I'm assuming is that if she saw the shadows, this was the shadows thrown by the jar.
Right, right.
The jar was on the same side as the armor, because you see that in that other picture.
Right.
And so the jar was on this side of the room, where the armor was. And when we were in the room, we saw that the armor was on Gorn's side.
Right.
So it's still the same side of the room, technically. If you follow that logic.
Yeah.
I still say the location is because it's like because the other two don't make sense to me.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. The murder weapon... Well, the issue with those two options are actually that, they kind of rule each other out because they're both singular options. So if you assume the murderer changed, then you'd assume that that would mean the murder weapon changed. And if you assume the murder weapon changed, that probably means you assume the murderer changed somehow. I don't know. At least the bottom one, the murder, like, you know, that doesn't make sense. The murder weapon, probably not. So let's see the location. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar.
Not only that, but she saw it at a very specific angle.
Excuse me. Sorry. Knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of this jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gott.
Objection. But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself.
Objection! Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Gott's office.
I am a genius, kind of. Objection. Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body? See? Because the jar is on that side.
Yeah.
But I just would it the opposite because I said that the shadow came all the way from the other room, but whatever. From Damon Garn's office to Lana Sky's office.
Whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons, like, ways you could reason around it, but either way we came to the right conclusion, and I feel pretty good about it.
I've yet to be one ever today.
Yep. Yes.
Why would he do that? There's no reason.
Exactly.
Phoenix, are you high again?
If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. Do you know what the reason was, Mr. Wright? I've finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying? That would have been the impact that the man made when he was knocked into the wall? Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit?
Ah.
That's very
Yeah,
enthusiastic
sky.
stream you have there.
I don't know. I don't know why she was streaming.
The suit of the suit of armor holding a very sharp and dangerous looking sword.
Point being, I caught this like hours ago.
Yes, you did. Good job, my pair
I
friend.
think I actually solved this case like days ago.
Yeah, you did. It's very impressive detective work. They indeed should make you a detective.
Maybe I should become a detective.
Maybe you should, but then I need you for this. So, you know.
Pear. Instead of eating donuts, I eat pears.
Be great. They should make a sitcom about that. I don't know if it'd be, but you know, whatever. They should make a show about that. Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, it would have had to been Neil Marshall wielding the prosecutor's award.
No, Mr. White, you can't be thinking
Yes.
that bitch up there is guilty of murder.
There's another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Another possibility. Of course the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless, I don't know if I can go through with this. Mr. Wright, what's the matter?
If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away was actually prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh man, he got owned.
Yeah. Pretty unfortunate.
You mean?
Yeah.
Mr. Marshall died because of me? No! Thud. I never imagined a testimony would lead to this. I feel kind of bad now.
So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented.
Really? You guys never had a case of accidental murder before?
Yeah.
Objection! My voice turned manly. What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances...
Joe Dog murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her?
How dare you bite your thumb at me, you whore!
You dare. Imagine that coming from you. Hmm. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago.
I forgive this evidence.
Forgive that. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out that Emma did it, wasn't it? I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe in your insane allegations, let it be Phoenix Wright. I'm afraid you're going to have to prove that. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall?
Evidence?
What is evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't.
What's an evidence?
Little pile of objects.
Man, I'm willing to bet. That'd be terrible. Phoenix Wright 9. And Phoenix Wright's just, yeah, Phoenix Wright's just gonna be like, what's an evidence?
What's a testimony?
What's an objection?
That'd be terrible. How do you object?
Yes. It certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence.
Maybe kinda already prove it with a testimony, bitches.
Yeah, I know, seriously.
It's literally impossible that anything else happened at this point. If we don't have evidence, then we have to rely on testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. Wait, no. What about the third party?
Yeah, I know. We certainly can't get dead people to testify.
But it's because you killed the other guy.
Yeah.
I feel kind of like if that Joe Dog didn't actually do anything, I feel kind of bad for him.
This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning.
Touche, Mist Guy. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility.
You mean there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
Phoenix Wright, pull some evidence out of your butt. I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. Somehow. He kind of got stabbed through the heart and the lung.
Yeah, I know, seriously. He must have been a freaking badass if that didn't kill him instantly.
That's impossible.
He was like, no,
I'm okay.
I must not die for the Desperados.
So if I die, Desperados dies.
Yes. Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? Got to think back to the court record. Their murderer's name the victim may have left behind.
It's in the evidence somehow.
Yep.
Wait, look at the... Wait, you can't actually look at the evidence, just for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But I want to look at the handprint.
Oh. Yeah. I think you're right. That's probably it. That's the only explanation, is this handprint.
Oh, we got the handprint though. What, how would he have made that? But we got enough free cases, I would just roll out them.
Yeah, that's a fair point. We've seen on the leather cloth the print belongs to Emma. I think I'll have to keep this information myself. Well, we're not going to for much longer. But yeah, you're right, we have enough. It is... yes. This message from the deceased is already in our possession.
Mr. Wright! Will you stop at not asking to prove my sister is a murderer? Well... my sister is a murderer. Do not be mistaken, Miss Guy. Phoenix Wright never stops once he starts.
Yes. If you know what I mean.
Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There's only one, like, now it's so obvious that it was an accident. Why is she so afraid of this? Like, they made it far worse by making it, like, different.
Yeah, she did. Like, she really made things, like, worse. And I understand that she didn't want her 14-year-old sister to be, you know,
Like,
have...
she's underage, so she wouldn't even have a criminal record.
Right,
Even
she
if it
wouldn't
wasn't
have...
accidental.
Right. Well, I understand initially, but to this degree I don't, because, like, now that Emma actually even has the ability to question it, before I assumed she was trying to protect Emma from, you know...
Bad swords, but still.
Yeah, still it is kind of a far, like, it is a ridiculous...
They killed a guy
it's
for it.
illegal. Yeah, yeah.
There's only one thing we seek. The truth. And ice cream, but mainly the truth. No matter how painful it may be, ice cream makes your brain hurt, I know.
Indeed it does. Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the dead.
Deceased.
Take that! This is the message from the deceased. Right. Oh. Now then, this is a message from the judge.
Okay, that wasn't.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that wasn't
I mean,
right.
I kind of was sure that it wasn't correct because it wasn't. It had nothing to do with from the deceased, but still.
Yeah. I mean...
You better be careful or you find out deceased yourself.
Wow!
You're on my side.
That sounds like something freaking Kai would say that one game. Like, that's so over the top. You
I activate negate evidence.
Oh, let's try this again. Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us this piece of evidence that conveys the message from the deceased. Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
That's
Victims. Of course, he didn't actually write it down.
Pierce heart lung. Stab, remark, stab. We have the.
Wait.
You have the jaw with the blood on it.
The jaw?
Like the one that we used to prove the blue badger thingy. It has blood on it.
Oh, it does have blood on it. That's...
Can you look inside it? Because it was looking. Because this has like its own side inside it. From the other side, you can look inside it.
Examine. The jar has no bottom, so the hole goes right through. I wonder if it's really a jar, some kind of weird telescope. Okay. Let's see whose blood was this. The dark red stains must be blood traces from the incident 2 years ago. Only the fragments could be found in Chief Gaunt's office. Still has lines remaining on it.
It looks like it could be text.
Yeah, you're actually right. In fact, that's one of the things that probably would have, probably didn't translate too well, and I think they should actually change
It's
it.
Japanese.
Yeah, I get the feeling that that's like, he started to form some kind of kanji there.
So, show him a jar.
Yeah.
I'm a genius!
Take
again!
that! This is the message left by the deceased. This is that... But yes, great job. This is that blue badger from before, right?
Oh, he's going to just speak the killer's name? Yes, the badger does it. Don't joke about him. I'm too sensitive. If that thing could, I'm sure it would.
Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar.
It looks like someone wiped the blood away.
Yes, but notice. For some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away. Yes, there's a line here. Drawn in blood.
So what are you saying? Is these studs Is these yes? Is these dots were once lines?
Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left behind to him to leave behind a message.
He didn't say it took 10 minutes to die if you got pierced through the heart. Like, I know you don't die instantly by being pierced through the heart, but I'm pretty sure you don't have 10 minutes left.
Yeah, I know, seriously. 10 minutes, like, 10 minutes of being pierced through the heart and the lung. An agonizing pain to go over and write something in your blood on a vase. This guy was, like, too metal.
I mean, considering that they said the woman died from being hit on the head instantly.
Yeah, I know.
One that someone apparently wiped away.
Magic. Yeah.
But blood must have seeped into the jar where the line changed directions.
Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent.
No.
Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us? Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. Got to connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim would have written, given the circumstances. The murderer's name.
Oh, I thought he was gonna write, like, ice cream taste great.
So maybe I was incorrect about them, like, you know, that's actually fine. They apparently...
Yes, I see it. No. Undo that. Okay, you press that one, go up to the other top one. The one the bottom left.
Yeah.
That, yes, and then down.
Oh, okay. And then
okay.
obviously these are obvious.
Hey, you have to do one more line between the two for the A.
Oh, right. Yeah, the game probably wants that. Okay, yeah. Take that! It's a defense attorney's duty to prove his client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out to be like this. Emma.
So this is a final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind.
Of all people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye.
Whose body disappeared.
Yep, who disappeared.
See, Wussy? You can't say I didn't warn you. She just bitched that woman away. Chief gone. Do you understand the implications of what you have been done? What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believed you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Ugh. Yes, Wussy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but he used forged evidence to ensure his conviction.
Objection! But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable.
He hated CIA. I'm afraid that's not important.
I think it's really important,
Actually, no, it's technically not important in this case.
Well, it's not important in this case, so it's important in what he was saying.
I mean, if they can't prove they weren't not able to prove the other one, so they don't even know if he was a serial killer. Other the fact that he supposedly went around completely insane. Which even then, they could probably have, he could probably have excused that to moment of insanity. Like, he wouldn't have gotten off with it, but they probably wouldn't have killed him.
Yeah.
Didn't you know? We aren't defenders of justice.
What?
We are merely keepers of the law. sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery. Ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Wait, not if he gets his evidence cheated, but okay.
Yeah,
Despite
I know.
what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. So what about you, Mr. Orange Suit?
It's going on in the prosecutor's office. They might have sent an innocent man to his death. How can he just stand there like it wasn't his fault? Order! Order! Order!
Maybe Gaunt wasn't the killer. I
The
still
gavels-
think he was.
Yeah, the gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. I assume we have to prove that next, yeah. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows.
But today was the last day, officially.
Yeah, wasn't it?
And you're just gonna rewrite law again?
Oh no. So anyways, that was quite the long part, but that was freaking dramatic. Oh,
I would say I had pretty much 100% correctness on that.
yes, you did.
I mean, other than that class of paper thingy, but I knew that was wrong.
Yeah, that was actually mine. I was like, hey, this, we haven't used this yet. It's probably this thing.
Yeah, well, that was great.
Yeah.
So we will see you guys next time.
Yes, and see you all next, and thank you for watching.
Take care.